Yeah, I think I am live. And good morning to all of you. I hope you must all be fine there, isn't it? And for some reason, I was not available for 1 or 2 days. So please bear with me. It was a personal issue for me, and therefore I could not be available to you people. It will take me just another 1 more minute to adjust this thing, and then we are going to be just right in front. Hope your books are there with you, and if they are with you, then immediately you can just be ready for some questions. I'll ask you 1 or 2 questions, and then you can tell me as to how things are moving. Anyways, I think I can see it here happening. Fine. In the last class, actually, we had the reading of this letter, and the letter had come from Miss Miss. And I hope I am audible to all of you. If I am audible, please, any one of you, just put here yes. I am just waiting for a reply. If I am audible to you, yes, I got the reply. Thank you so much. Now over to the text. Page number 78. I think today we'll be able to end this chapter. Well, in the last class, we had discussed something, that letter which was sent by this girl, Vanda, to Miss Mason. And that letter was for the whole class. And when it was being read, the attention of everyone, or their curiosity of everyone, was watchworthy. And here, this girl, especially Peggy, she felt that okay, the letter must have reached Vanda, and that's why it's a kind of a response to their letter. Later on, in the whole course of the story, we will come to know whether their letter had reached them or not. But the last line I'll just read out to you, so that we'll get back to that last class of ours. It was, for Christmas, I miss that school, and my new teacher does not equalize with you. And Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Here, the letter had ended. Well, the girl says, it's a kind of compliment to her teacher, Miss Mason, and telling her that you had been excellent one, and my current teacher does not equalize with you. This expression you can always make use of. You can make sentences like, mm, uh, nobody equalizes my brother's sympathy, or nobody equalizes my friends' company with full of enjoyment. Like this you can prepare many such sentences, and this expression can be yours. And the last one, she says, Merry Christmas to you and everybody. By this letter, I think I tried to conclude it to you. Wanted to convey that she was not angry with anyone. Instead, she was just happy to extend her Christmas wishes. And by that also, I tried to explain it to you that all of them, like a special thing happens. We have here Diwali, very important function for us. For some people, it is the Eid that is more important, or we can say the moment of joy. And there it is, the Christmas, and the Christmas was excellent there. And so she wished them all Merry Christmas. About the dresses, you already know what Vanda must have told the whole class. The whole class can distribute, those dresses among themselves. But she had pointed out 1 or 2 dresses which were meant for Maggie and Peggy. Now I'm just reading out after this letter. It's on page number 78. You can all have your books in your hands. I'm just going ahead with the reading. On the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. All the houses had wreaths and holly in the windows. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were staked, and and in the window, candy peppermint sticks and cor- cornucopias of shiny. This refers to all different kind of plants and other things of decorations which are used for making a Merry Christmas. For shiny transparent paper was stung. The air smelled like Christmas, and light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the show. This I want to emphasize one or two points over here. Since it was you can say Merry Christmas time, and since it was the time of joy and enjoyment, so the decoration accordingly was made over here, and all the wreaths, flowers, and all those things they were decorated over there. Uh, the air smelled like Christmas. So this line you can just underline and can make use of this expression later on. I'll give you one or two examples how you can make use of it. Uh, the air smelled like that of a function. The air smelled like of freshness, of happiness. The air smelled like of peace and enjoyment. The like this, you can form such sentences and can use actually for such occasions. For example, when you have your annual festival or any function in you can say of CC event takes place. So the whole environment actually becomes of that kind of celebration. In that case, you can use this kind of expression. So it is your permanent hold on vocabulary. And light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the snow because it was time of Christmas. So everywhere that environment of Christmas could be seen. Not only the houses were very well decorated with different plants and flowers and wreaths. Wreaths refer to those bands of flowers. We can say garlands or something like that. And apart from this, the shops, they become typical filled with those kind of things. For example, before some days, it was the season of Rakhi. And because it was festival very close by, all the shops, they displayed wonderful, craftsmen of making beautiful Rakhi, typical of a type of Rajasthan, and some modern, Rakhis, which were very thin and trendy at the same time. All that exhibition was quite relevant to the particular celebration. Now here it was Christmas time, so even the shops had those things which are required for the description, or I mean to say, instead of description, I must say the decoration of a house or making us feel like Christmas. Then boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. And a response now came from Peggy, wherein she says, this means that she likes us. This means she likes us. She refers to the girl, and this actually refers to the letter that she had written to Miss Misson, and through the letter she had pointed out those two special friends of hers, Maggie and Peggy. So both of them, she said, "Ki these are the particular dresses, and those dresses are yours." So by this, she is concluding, Peggy is concluding, as if this is something, that she has a lot of love for us, and she might have already excused her, and so she likes us. It shows she got a letter, and this is her way of saying that everything is all right, and that is that, and that is that, and then this is what we can understand. So what we can assume, Peggy might be telling this to Maddie. What we can assume is she might have got our letter, and because of that, she must have given a response. Maybe that she has not given the response to us directly, but there is every possibility that because she has got our letter, so she conveyed through this letter that she was not unhappy with anybody, and she has no grudge against anyone. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. Now, here the reaction of this girl, Maddie, you can understand. She says all that in a sad tone. Why she might be saying this in all that sad tone? I hope, or it is my assumption, you can say, Maddie must not be very sure of it, or she doesn't even think of it that this must have been a possibility that Vanda must have got their letter, and the present letter is actually a response to their letter, may not also be the thing, and that is why Maddie says, "Ki I suppose it is so. I hope so," said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight lipped, polished girl again and couldn't ever really make things right between them. She has a constant repentance. Repentance is, you can say, regret. That um, if only Maddie had met Vanda, she would have, cleared up many things with her. She would have told her that, of course, whatever happened there, it was sad, but it was not intentional. And if it has at all happened, then I feel really so sorry about it, and I regret that she would have told. And all that was not possible. And she also is of the opinion that this girl, Vanda must not have written this letter in response to the letter both of them, Peggy and Maddie had written. That is why she feels that it is possible that it must not have actually come from this girl, and therefore she is a bit sad also. And she is sad also for one important reason, which is already mentioned over here. She would not be able to see this girl again. That means there is no chance of personally saying sorry to the girl. And therefore this all conclusions of her make her so sad about the whole event. A tight-lipped Polish girl, I hope you understand. Polish girl, she belongs to Poland, therefore she is Polish. And tight-lipped, that may be her way of, keeping her expressions like that. In other way, if you want to understand its meaning, it can be she was a rarely spoken girl. She would hardly speak to anyone. Now over to the next line. She went home and she pinned her drawing over a torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliance of the color. This line I feel is beautiful. You can underline this one. The shabby room came alive from the brilliance of the colors. If you read this line, you can understand the room must not be, so good, or because Maddie did not belong to a well-to-do family. She was just an she belonged to just, you can say, a common background, and therefore she would generally get the clothes from Peggy, and that is why she felt when she pinned that drawing, because that became very dear, you can say, possession of her. She pinned it there on the wall, and that was a shabby wall. And with that, she says the whole environment, everything there in the room came to life all again. So such beautiful drawing. This is all because you want to interpret it positively. It was such a nice you can say gesture on the part of Vanda, and she excused us. So she's such a nice person. So it gives her the memory of her dear friend Vanda, about whom she felt so sorry that she had been a partner actually in troubling this girl with Peggy. So the shabby room came alive from the brilliance of the colors. You can say, like any celebrations, like birthday celebration, suppose comes to your home, maybe of yours or of your sibling. You can say the whole, room. Of course, it's not shabby. Already beautiful room also you can mention. The already beautiful room came alive from the brilliance of the colors, or it added colors. It came to life. That's what we generally say. So it came all alive with a brilliance of color. That is such vibrant colors, such beautiful colors. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Vanda had been nice to her anyway. Now, when once that drawing is pegged over there, or it is pinned over there, now what happens? This girl Maddie goes into contemplation. This means she goes under thinking. She thinks that the kind of time she had spent with Vanda there in the class, the bad time that she had given to Vanda, but at the same time, the good nature of Vanda through the letter, and a special mention in the letter of her name for a special dress that she had, crafted for this girl. So, with that, she is looking at probably at the drawing intently. I mean to say, continuously, or what we generally say, staring at that drawing, and then contemplating all that and getting a. And she remembers one very important thing, that Vanda has been very nice to her, though whatever might have been the matter between them. Now, next line. It's from here it all becomes little serious and emotional. Next is tears blurred her eyes and gazed from a long time at the picture. For a long time at the picture, then hastily she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid that she had scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing. But it looked like her, Maddie. It really looked like her own mouth. Why it really looked like her own self? Wanda had really drawn this for her. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy's, and then, Peggy, she said, "Let me see your picture." Now, here you just see. Tears blurred her eyes. This is generally, it is, I therefore want you to learn language, how you learn language from the stories that we study. One expression is here, tears blurred her eyes. A general expression could have been, there were tears in her eyes, or tears rolled down her cheeks. Now, this one wonderful expression. What happens once that the drop of tear actually appears in the eye? The vision does not remain clear for us. And this describes the exact moment or the situation exactly what happens once one gets a drop of tear in the eye. That is what he says. He tears blurred her eyes and she gazed, that is, looked continuously, that is, stared and gazed for a long time at the picture, the drawing that she had got of the dress as a gift from Vanda. She continuously looked at her. I think this condition also you understand. For example, you might have had a small quarrel there in the school with a very close friend of yours. Whatever the classes actually take place after that quarrel, I don't think in all those classes your full attention remains, because somewhere your mind goes into that thought again and again, that whatever happened was misfortunate, or you should have said that, or she should not have, or he should not have said something like that. This becomes very common thing for thinking on. Now, when for some time when you want to just see to it, okay, what is happening, then your all focus gets to one particular thing, and you just go on staring the thing, you go on gazing that thing, and you don't know for how long you are actually doing so, but you do understand that you are watching something, but in reality it does not take place. The same thing, because this shows, what I want actually to tell you is, this shows the mental condition that Maddie was going through, and it was not a very you can say welcoming kind of condition, but this was something required for there is a kind of conscience in her mind, and that tells her whatever happened with Vanda was not all right. And as a good friend of Vanda, Maddie should not have behaved that rudely or that badly with Vanda. This is what we can assume. Then hastily she rubbed her eyes. Suddenly, something might have clicked her mind, and suddenly very quickly she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. Studied it, for example, when you do some kind of study. So how you are involved actually doing, searching for something, as if something great you are going to get out of it. For example, one you just want to get its meaning, so you would like to just try to get into the whole explanation of it, the line that it conveys, and as if nobody else but you would be able to find it, or just like that, with all concentration she looked at the drawing. That's why it is said there, she studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid, they were so beautiful, so clear, that she could not even notice whatever the faces were made there. Not only the drawing of dress was there, but at the same time some figures were made, some faces were made. This girl, Vanda, had drawn some faces actually for some drawings. And when she observed the drawing very minutely, she, concluded that it must be her face. And now she contemplates why this girl must have done so, why she must have drawn my face only. So here the answer is a, Vanda's heart was very pure. She was a very gentle person. Well, her gentleness was not understood by her classmate. That is, matter of regret. They all might have regretted for this. Anyways, whatever has happened, but Maddie is here undergoing this kind of, mental tension. And I mean to say, her mind is somewhere telling her whatever happened, they were all these things drawn this for her exactly. She ran over to Peggy and then she just wanted to confirm whether for Peggy also any such a peculiar face of the person is made. For that, she just ran to her. As they clattered up to her room, where Vanda's drawing was, lying face down on the bed, Maddie carefully raised it. Then, look, she drew you. Then both of them came to the conclusion. Now you see, it is not only my in my drawing that face is mine, but for your dress, which she gave it to you as a gift, for that also she has drawn a face, and that is all yours. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed. And the head and face of this picture did look did look like Peggy. Here, I think this common expression is used in English. I went to the shop. Suppose this expression you want to use, but when you want to speak it up quite so firmly, you might say, "I did go to the shop. Uh, I did complete my work." This is, a way of putting stress on one particular idea. And therefore, here we get one expression here. It says, "If this picture did look like Peggy." So, ये picture जो था, वो exactly Peggy के जैसे ही, just exactly like that of Peggy's face, it appeared. "What did I say?" said Peggy. She must have really, liked us anyway. So Peggy is just trying to confirm, by giving this proof or as an evidence, she is putting this drawing to Maddie and telling her that, see, what I had told you initially, I'm right, that this girl actually liked us. And she also has one more conclusion over here, and she says, yes, she must have agreed, Maddie. And she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Vanda. This line is important for you. You can just underline, because sometimes when you are asked, you point out the line or from where you can make it out from the text that Vanda, Maddie was very much troubled by leaving of Vanda. So this all you can just mention over here. Hmm. This line is, and that every time she thought of Vanda standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off, after she had said, sure, 100 of them all lined up. So, again, Maddie getting back to the memory of her friend Vanda and telling her, recalling her that uh, how this girl would be so silent, how she would be there standing at one peculiar place, and how other girls would be laughing at her. But at the same time, this girl was so, content, or you can say so happy was she, that she never found anything wrong in it. And she was such a big hearted girl that she excused everyone at the end. That memory of Vanda always remained with Maddie, though she has never got a chance. But she felt because Vanda is such a nice, gem of person. Instead, I must say that she must have definitely excused both of them, Peggy and Maddie, for being so rude, so harsh, with this girl Vanda. And now, uh, I think the explanation of this chapter is almost done. If I am to put some questions to you, please be ready. And I know you are so active. I'm right in front of the monitor, and I'll get your responses. I'm reading out first question to you. What did the girls write to Vanda? It is very simple. You can just write one or two phrases, they would be sufficient. What did the girls, and who these girls actually refer to? Only two girls, Peggy and Maddie. So the question is, what did the girls write to Vanda? I am at the chat box waiting for a response. Many of you, Akanksha, where are you? Akanksha Tripathi, I can see only the attendance. Ayush, Hardik,